This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo speaking now in regards to a bill and how the state plans on helping people impacted by the coronavirus. Let's listen to this live press conference.
PD and state police, but is the NYPD being provided with extra protective gear? And also, do you have a plan in place for what happens should any of these officers, etc., get ill?
Every police department has been advised to expect people to get ill. I mean, you know, you're talking about a public-facing position in this environment. So reality would dictate you'll expect a number of people to get ill. I have mandated that New York City and all local governments have masks provided to their police departments.
Right, but do you have any plan should, you know, the NYPD need to cut hours? Or, and we saw in Philadelphia, they relaxed certain, they told officers to stop detaining people for certain crimes. So
I'll leave that to the local police departments unless there's a situation that requires state action. But right now, we're leaving it to the local police departments.
Governor, could you please expand more on your discussions on bail reform with the DAs and the criminal justice experts?
We spoke to the issue. You know, there's a divergence of opinion. I said to them that I'm very proud of what we did on bail reform. I think we made a significant difference. Obviously, there's people who have different opinions on what needs to be done now, and it was just a general conversation without a conclusion. It will be concluded in the budget. Let's take one more question, and then we'll get to work.
You mentioned that 108 people have been released from the hospital. Maybe this is a question for Dr. Zucker. Are those people out of the woods? Can you get coronavirus twice, or have they built up an immunity?
So you do build up an immunity to all viruses. Sometimes immunity lasts for years, sometimes for your lifetime. And they are out of the woods. I mean, if they've recovered, that's a positive finding.
Doctor, you gave this conversation I had with my sister. If you take your daughter to get a coronavirus test and she tests positive, what do you think happens? They send you home and they say chicken soup and take care of yourself, and if it gets worse and you need hospitalization, call me. So getting the test and getting the result, all it really does is inform us to isolate that person so that person doesn't transfer it. But there's no medicine that you get for the coronavirus, right? It's just like a flu. The body has to develop its own immunity to that virus. We've been doing this testing just to slow the spread. And again, it's what I said to my sister. Keep her away from mom. Don't go into a nursing home. Don't go into a senior care facility. Don't expose a person who's immune compromised, who's recovering from cancer, who has emphysema, who has a respiratory illness. That's all this is. We're going to go to work. Thank you very much.
All right, New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo there, ending a press conference in Albany, speaking with reporters about the novel coronavirus outbreak. We thank you for joining us here as WNY News Now continues to put facts over fear. Here are some local headlines that we're following right now. Chautauqua County officials are working to provide an update on the coronavirus pandemic here. We'll tell you the latest. Plus, how government is working to reduce the number of on-site staff. We hear from Chautauqua County's district attorney and the legal impact as News Now at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us. I'm Justin Gould. As of broadcast time, Chautauqua County officials say 3 people here remain in precautionary quarantine, and there are no positive cases of the novel coronavirus. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell says that the county is continuing to prepare for the virus to reach the area, which he says is inevitable. Chautauqua County's Commissioner of Health and Human Services, Christine Schuyler, is encouraging people who don't have to go outside to stay home. She says if people must go out, they should practice safe social distancing. Meanwhile, this morning, Chautauqua County government officials released their plan to reduce on-site staff in an effort to prevent the spread of the virus. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell says the actions are a result of New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo's March 16th executive order to reduce local government size by 50%. Although the legislature meetings will remain open to the public with reduced limited capacity, the public is encouraged to avoid attending the meeting in person. Instead, you can watch it live on a stream posted on the county's Facebook page. Now, until further notice, the Chautauqua County Department of Health and Human Services is encouraging all social service clients with an appointment in Mayville, Jamestown, or Dunkirk to not come in for their scheduled appointments or non-emergency services. Civil exams have also been postponed until further notice. The county's Department of Facilities office is also closed until further notice. The county landfill and transfer stations will close starting tomorrow. The Chautauqua Area Regional Transit System, better known as CARTS here in Jamestown, is suspending city routes. And starting tomorrow, they're modifying inter-county routes until further notice. More information on all of this is posted on a story at WNYNewsNow.com. Another local official is taking a precautionary action in the wake of this coronavirus outbreak. Chautauqua County District Attorney Patrick Swanson has spoke to our Matt Hummel. He says he has separated his staff into groups in order to ensure that his office can remain functional even if one or more of his staff members becomes infected or has to quarantine themselves. Swanson tells us that his office is experiencing a variety of emotions right now.
I think everybody's kind of in the phase of acceptance and disbelief and uncertainty and you name it. You know, we're dealing with a set of circumstances that in anybody's life that works here in this office is unprecedented.
Now, Swanson says that several changes have also been made to implement in the court system due to this crisis. We have a full article with details on that at WNYNewsNow.com. Certainly, lots of people asking if they are to appear in court, not to appear in court. We have links with how you can find that out at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, nationwide, there are now more confirmed cases of coronavirus in all 50 states and Washington, D.C. In addition to the human toll, the financial and economic impact also appears to be devastating, with businesses shutting down, schools closing, and people staying home. Bryn Gingras has more on how the nation is responding to this outbreak.
As businesses continue to close in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, many Americans are looking for help.
The unemployment requests, first-time requests for benefits that are coming in literally this week as we sit here are overwhelming.
The White House promising they're working on a solution which could include sending checks to people who need it.
Americans need cash now, and the president wants to get cash now. And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
Overnight, the Office of Management and Budget asking Congress for $45.8 billion in emergency funding. The same day, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin announced this stimulus plan.
We've put a proposal on the table that would inject $1 trillion into the economy.
The streets of San Francisco nearly deserted, with about 8 million Northern Californians being asked to shelter in place. And for the more than 6 million children who attend California's public schools, the governor giving this harsh reality.
I would plan and assume that it's unlikely that many of these schools, few if any, will open before the summer break.
In New York City, the mayor warning drastic measures could be coming there as well.
I think New Yorkers should be prepared right now for the possibility of a shelter-in-place order.
New York's governor says that can't be done without his approval, suggesting the focus should be on making sure the state's healthcare system has enough resources.
That's why I went to President Trump and said, look, I'll work to flatten the curve. We need the Army Corps of Engineers in here. We need FEMA in here. I need extra medical equipment. And we can only do that if we work together.
For now, President Trump hoping to avoid a national shutdown.
We think of everything. It's a very big step. It's something we talk about, but we haven't decided to do that.
Hotel chains like Marriott and MGM Resorts beginning to furlough employees. And with airports nearly empty, airlines like United reducing even more flights and asking for a $50 billion bailout.
This is worse than 9/11. For the airline industry, this is, they are almost ground to a halt.
Shoppers still overloading stores to stock up on supplies. The FDA asking Americans to only purchase what they need for the upcoming week. The nation's top infectious disease doctor issuing this plea to young Americans.
Don't get the attitude, well, I'm young, I'm invulnerable. We can't do this without the young people cooperating. Please cooperate with us.
All right, Bryn, thank you for your reporting. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo is continuing to urge residents to stay home in an attempt to practice good social distancing. Well, two notable power companies are working to help customers affected by this virus outbreak. National Grid is directing $500,000 to support customers affected by health impacts, financial hardships, and disruptions. The funding will provide immediate relief to families and individuals in need and bolster efforts by local organizations to assist communities across Massachusetts, New York, and Rhode Island. The Jamestown BPU, meanwhile, has temporarily suspended service disconnections to customers. Officials say this means that customers do not need to be concerned about disconnection of electric and water services due to the lack of payment. However, they say the regular billing will continue for all customers. Well, hopefully everyone is having a good day, and we thank you for joining us here on WNY News Now. Let's take a look at the comments and say hello to Wanda. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for being here with us. Hello to Wendy, hello to Cindy, hello to Carrie, hello to Liz, Rob, Butch, Rory, good to see you, Joanna, good to see you, and Derek. Hopefully you're all doing well. We thank you for joining us. And again, as we mentioned on yesterday's broadcast here, if you have questions in regards to the coronavirus, please let us know, and we will do our best to get back to you with those questions. You can do that by emailing us at newsdesk@WNYNewsNow.com, sending us a message here on Facebook, on Twitter, or even better, you can actually text us now at 716-488-7226. We have that number on our site. It's our main call-in number. You can text 488-7226, and we will try to answer those questions for you. And certainly, we have the ability to get a hold of officials, and we will do that and try to keep everybody updated as we continue to move throughout this process here as we're working to learn so much information. And we have such a busy show that let's get to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter now quickly. Dakota, hopefully you're having a good day. We thank you so much for being here. And you actually, I saw in our news chat, it looks like some windy conditions could be coming our way on top of everything else that's happening. I know the Weather Service just issued something about that. Can you tell us what that's about?
Yes, indeed. Just issued at the top of the hour, we have a high wind watch that is issued for essentially Chautauqua County. That's the only part of the southern tier that has it right now. We'll talk about that during the full weather segment. It goes in effect for Friday with gusty winds and possibly some storms as well. Here's a live look from on top of the Doubletree Hotel. The clouds abode downtown right now, and that will likely continue throughout much of the day. You can see the clouds coming in from west to east today, but there will be the chance for a few peaks of sunshine. So I don't think the clouds are really going to win it all out. There might be some peaks of sunshine, but again, more clouds than sun, especially through the afternoon. Tomorrow, we start spring, and we start spring very warm as well, but also with that comes a little bit of rain as well. So officially, we're getting into the spring season. Oh boy, I know we can't wait for that. 41 here in town right now at the airport, 42 in Mayville, 45 Fredonia, 43 Clymer, 48 in Erie, 42 in Tidiu. So temperatures not running too far off from each other today, and this is where we're going to be through the day today. We were at 39 yesterday for the official high, 26 was a low this morning, 71 and 2 below zero are in the record books for today. So through the afternoon, partial sunshine, milder, a quiet afternoon. There won't be a chance for a shower until towards sunset time, which comes up at about 7:28. So expect around 7 o'clock, we may get a shower or two. 45 to 52 through the afternoon with a southeast wind 5 to 10. Big changes on the way for tomorrow and the weekend. We'll talk about it in a few. Jay, back to you.
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Coming up next, Chautauqua County's Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Todd Traynham joins us in studio. to talk about how local businesses are being impacted by coronavirus closures, how his group is trying to help. Next.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
This is Christine Schuyler, Chautauqua County Public Health Director, with a very important message. We need you to make every effort to protect yourselves and our healthcare workers. If you absolutely don't need to go out, don't. If you have a mild cold or flu-like symptoms, with or without a fever, stay home. If your symptoms are severe, call your healthcare provider. Do not go to the emergency room or urgent care. Do not call 911 or go to the ER unless you are experiencing a life-threatening emergency. The best ways you can help prevent the spread of COVID-19 are to wash your hands often with soap and water, cover your cough, avoid close contact with others. Please stay home.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. In the past 48 hours, several business types across New York State were ordered to close or reduce capacity as officials work to contain the novel coronavirus outbreak in the state. Joining us in studio now is the president and CEO of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce, Todd Traynham, with more on how this impacts people here locally. Todd, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity. Really appreciate you helping us, get a message out to the community. And I think one of the important things to get across is that businesses are still open, particularly our small businesses need the continued support of people in the county and in the region. We're trying to get out a message of buy safe, buy small, buy local. Really the safest places to go right now for goods, services, and if you want to order out for food is with our small local businesses. A lot of our restaurants are offering delivery or curbside pickup. Our retailers are doing some unique things as well. So it's important at this time to continue to support our local businesses because this is having and has a potential to have a devastating impact on them.
So first of all, what impact and what regulations now have been put forward by government officials in case people didn't catch the news earlier this week?
Yeah, so the advisories around not congregating into groups of more than 10. But I think the reality is people still need things and need to buy things, and we also need to be conscious of our local economy. Obviously, safety is first, but I think if we all use common sense, follow the rules around hygiene and the advisories around hygiene and social distancing, and not put ourselves in situations where we're in larger groups. Generally, folks will stay healthy. However, there's a reality here for our small businesses that a lot of our small businesses may not have the cash flow or the capacity to make it through this without the support of local consumers. So there's a balance here between, we can be safe, but let's also be conscious that our local businesses are open and need our support.
Have you seen some pushback from any local businesses who were very concerned with these regulations?
So, we are a resilient area.
Yeah.
We've had our challenges in the past, and it's a credit to our small businesses and how they adapt. And many of them are really doing a good job of adapting to a constantly changing situation. But certainly, based on data we've collected, conversations we've had with businesses, the big concern is cash flow. How are we going to weather this storm? How long is it going to last? Will there be more mandates? Some of it is, a little bit of the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
What's next?
Right.
Will we at some point be in a situation where we're required to go into a total shutdown, and how do we prepare for that? But as things stand right now, many of our businesses remain open to help serve the community and serve the local consumer.
So how is the Chamber of Commerce helping some of their members through this time of uncertainty, with social distancing being a priority?
Yeah. So we've been focusing on sharing a lot of information and consistently sharing information with our members. We have a page dedicated to this on our website at chautauquachamber.org, where we're constantly updating information that's pertinent to businesses, giving them guidance, providing them templates in terms of emergency planning. We've also started a group conversation on Facebook, where we've invited businesses in to share what they're doing, to share what they're hearing in the community, to share best practices, to share how they're being innovative in these challenging times, as well as a venue for us to cross-communicate any changes that are occurring. We remain in contact with the county health department. We continue to monitor the CDC website. We are connected and communicate with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, National Association of Manufacturers, and a variety of resources out there. And what we've done on our website is sort of a condensed location of concise links that are important to businesses. And again, that's at the chautauquachamber.org.
Now, has any of the business members reached out to your group so far in requesting assistance?
So yes, businesses are inquiring particularly about financial support. Again, cash flow is going to be a concern.
Yeah.
So we've been staying in touch with the Small Business Development Center as an example, and county economic development, as well as our state leaders, to understand what resources might be available. The Small Business Administration has put together a disaster relief loan program. New York is in the process of qualifying for that. The state of New York is in the process of qualifying for that. And speaking with Senator Borrello and Assemblyman Goodell, they've introduced legislation at the state level to bring some financial relief to local businesses. And I think there'll be other resources forthcoming locally, and obviously we're interested in seeing what happens at the federal level with the bill that's currently in the Senate.
So certainly then the message maybe now to businesses is just stay tuned, because all of these moving parts are still trying to come to some sort of conclusion.
Yeah. I would say within the next 24 hours, there'll probably be a little more clarity, at least on some of those funding sources. Obviously the concern is how quick can that money get on the street? And that's a concern and a challenge. We got to make sure we bring relief to these businesses as soon as possible.
So what message does the Chamber and businesses here in the community want to convey to customers who are out there, who maybe are looking on to say, I want to help my neighbors' shops. I want to keep them really alive, because I'd imagine if this prolonged for such amount of time, some things may have to close. What message do you want to convey?
Yeah, the message would be to buy safe, buy small, buy local. These businesses need your support. Many of these businesses have gift card options that you can buy through online platforms. So look for those opportunities as well. Buy those gift cards from those businesses. or, if you need products, services, food, please get out and support those businesses.
Yeah, and I
It's
know
critically important.
a lot of local food shops specifically now who maybe have never done takeout, that type of thing before, are now really trying to push that curbside service.
Yes.
And I would imagine as a community standpoint, it's kind of, there's that fine line of, I don't know how comfortable I am with going out and doing that now, but at the same time, these businesses are taking precautions too.
Yes, and that's a very good point. These businesses have been diligently following the guidelines being put out by the county and the state and at the federal levels to make sure they're meeting the required standards, pertaining to cleanliness and going over and above that in many cases. So, and to your point, yes, for those who are concerned about, leaving their home, or maybe are in a situation where, they shouldn't be leaving their home because of health conditions, many of these businesses are being innovative and identifying ways or using, resources available to them to do delivery directly to folks' homes.
Certainly. And final question for you today, and we thank you so much for joining us here on the broadcast to talk about the importance of trying to support local businesses through this time. If a business were to come to that point where they had to make the decision either by the lack of personnel or just down the road because there's so much uncertainty, we don't know what's going to happen, what would be the best way for them to go to suspend operations, and would the chamber be able to help them navigate through that process?
Yeah, so I would encourage businesses, they can call us, but also to go to our website at chautauquachamber.org, because we're going to keep a lot of updated information right there. Some businesses are, may need to look at, how do I help my employees file for unemployment, as an example. There's some resources available for that. Businesses might, have questions or strategies they're using at this time that could be shared with other businesses. So, please share that information with us, but also, keep an eye on our website, because we'll keep information, updated information posted there. For the business community.
It would seem like if we work together through this, we'll be stronger. That
Absolutely.
was the aspect. Because I know at least in the newsroom here, we've been talking about how, you have some competition within local media. And at this point, we're sort of dropping that mindset. It's like, let's just get the information to people as clearly and specifically as possible.
Likewise.
And the other big thing, too, that I was just wanted to kind of get your take on, so to speak, was with businesses who may be down the road, they could make those changes. But right now, at least talking to the community and talking with officials, it's still perfectly safe for people to go out and get these services as of currently.
Yeah.
Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, use common sense.
Yeah.
Okay. If a business offers, either a delivery service or something like that, use those services. I just want to go back to your point about, the necessity of working together and collaborating. I think that's important. As a chamber, obviously we are driven by our member investors, but we're really here at this moment in time to help all businesses, regardless of their membership status with us, as well as we've been communicating and working closely with other local partners here in Jamestown, the Jamestown Renaissance Center. We've had conversations with them, the Chautauqua County Visitors Bureau, County Economic Development, and we're working together too on strategies in terms of getting out messaging and helping promote the fact that these businesses remain open. And we're looking, down the road, how are we going to be strategically positioned as a community to help these businesses possibly have to rebuild.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we keep an eye on that bigger picture as well.
Yeah, certainly we will, and we'll continue to try to keep people updated. Todd Traynham, the president and CEO of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce, joining us in studio today. Todd, thank you so much for being here. Stay healthy and be well, and we'll hope to talk to you soon as we get more information as we move throughout this process for sure.
Very good.
So, joining us now, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with a look at our extended forecast. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin, and I wanted to start off with this because this is interesting. An earthquake occurred near Salt Lake City this morning. It was a 5.7 on the Richter scale, and this is the details here. It was 7.3 miles down into the Earth's crust. It happened just to the north of Salt Lake City, and so far there are now, as of this moment, we don't know if there's any injuries from this, but we do know power is out across parts of Salt Lake City. It happened just before 9:10 Eastern Daylight Time this morning, a little before 7:10 their time. So here's what's going on here. This is our next storm system that's coming our way tonight through Friday, and it will be getting wet around here once again. So let's talk about it here in terms of the weather headlines. A very usable afternoon, but again, it won't be raining this afternoon until later tonight, possibly around sunset time. More widespread rain tonight. Showers and storms return on Friday. There's a chance some of them could be a little bit stronger. That is our next weather maker here. So currently, the Storm Prediction Center has all of Western New York under a less than average marginal risk. That's this darker green. That's a level 1 out of 5 for Friday. And this is the potential for maybe some gusty winds out of here. The winds really tick up Friday as well. So, with gusty winds, that could elevate some of these storms to strong to severe levels. So again, in terms of the impacts here, the strong winds is running in the moderate category. There also could be some heavy rain within this as well at times. So that's why flooding is up there a little bit. Now, as we mentioned during the first weather segment, there is a high wind watch in effect for mainly Chautauqua County and areas near Buffalo. This starts Friday morning and runs until 6 p.m. on Friday. Wind gusts possibly 60 miles an hour at times. Let's take you through future scan through the day here. It's trying to paint a few little showers. It's not going to happen through the afternoon. Tonight, though, we will start to get into more widespread rain. It shouldn't be all that heavy. It should be lighter in intensity. Then as we go into the afternoon hours tomorrow, all the rain hightails out of here. Partial sunshine for the afternoon. Now, as we head into Thursday night, that storm system starts to head our way once again as it passes to our northwest in the upper Great Lakes. So scattered rain showers redevelop once again. Now, going into Friday morning, this is where we'll likely start to see maybe some thunderstorm activity, especially when you see these darker colors down here. That's where you start to get in the chance for some moderate to heavy rainfall. We'll switch the computer models to show you Friday. So this is Friday morning at about 8 o'clock. Showers and thunderstorms definitely across the southern tier. And again, when you get into those darker colors, that'll start to flare right here in the afternoon. That's the potential for maybe some of those thunderstorms. Gusty winds at times 50 to 60 miles per hour. Definitely severe. That's definitely severe. Definitely severe for you. Then all that hightails out to the east as we head Friday night. We actually get into a few rain and snow showers Friday night before high pressure builds in for the weekend. So zone forecast for today, the Lake Erie shoreline here. Temperatures will be hovering near 50 once again. This is seasonable, and that Lake Erie water temperature at 36. The inland areas here, mid to upper 40s across most of the area. Not a bad day, but a rain shower definitely possible by sunset. How about the future? Take a look at it. Next 7 days coming up on the screen. 61 tomorrow, 65 Friday. The winds really tick up on Friday as well. How about Saturday? Only 33 degrees. High pressure returns. A wintry mix Monday, but then a few rain showers with temperatures back up to near 50 once again on Tuesday. Jay?
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. That's all the time we have for today. Of course, we remind you everything on the novel coronavirus outbreak that you need to know here locally. Our Facts Over Fear is posted at WNYNewsNow.com. We're back tomorrow at noon speaking with a medical health professional from UPMC Chautauqua Hospital and how they're preparing. See you tomorrow.